think that you're a saint, eh? I don't know, I don't think I'm anything anymore, man. It's like, I don't know, everyone around me just doesn't seem to have a inner monologue, or even if they do, it's like, it just doesn't feel like any of the things they say are real anymore.
All that's real to anyone is the many different genres of their life. Like if they have a business, that's real to them. If they have a family, that's real to them. Fuck all the rest of you locusts. If they're making money, if they have... The thing I get with married guys is they're always so... Like, I don't have anything against those guys. It's like, if you're happy, man, go off and live that storybook ending. Most people are never going to get that. You have no idea how lucky you are. But they have to usually be like, oh, well, when are you going to get married? Or everything is so much better. And, you know, kids change your life. It's like, yeah, let me just rush off and find my belle of the ball. Let me just find a girl that would be worth investing anything in that isn't a modern, just inebriated, mentally ill, fucking out of her goddamn mind with baggage and physical, like every bit of her past that is going to weigh down on her. These millennial women, the women that I would have to pick from, it's like, what the fuck is that worth to invest in when I have delayed gratification from the age of 19 to 25? Like, I'm not just gonna have anybody wash up on my island and be like, oh, there's a woman! I'm going to run down to the shore and be like, I don't care how she smells, where she's been!
It's like you do care. It's like you can't just give it up to anyone. Gotta...
Yeah. But in the end, eventually, it's like, what's gonna be left? I'm almost fucking be 30 in another half decade, another 5 years. It won't matter at a certain point. It's like, yeah, it's fucking scary. It's like, your youth just goes, everything just goes, whether or not you spend time partying and fucking women and trying to be a rapper or whatever the fuck people think is fulfilling about their lives, whether they're gonna go skydiving or we're all gonna be quarantined from now until fucking December 2021. But like, it all goes by, and whether or not you're working or partying or wasting away, it goes by like that, and you're still here. And I begin to ask myself, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Where are we going? You never really seem to have an answer for that. You just kind of keep playing the game because that's all you can do. It becomes less about fun at a certain point. It becomes like anytime you play an MMO, like Warframe, it's not really so much fun anymore like it was. It's more of a grind. Yeah, it's a job. You're surviving. You're keeping up with the rest of the human race. You're keeping up with the other Warframes.
You're keeping up with the other orcs and elks and whatever the fuck.
What's your mastery rank, bro? Did you go to college? Dude!
Yeah. It's very much like, no one has time anymore.
Do you even know how to make a cephalon, you fuck? Like when people ask you, like, learn to code, bitch. It's all gonna be taken by... Well, I mean, as with the virus now and this whole pandemic scare that is taking the world by storm, like, I think it's gonna be very different as far as the jobs that people think are essential, because right now people are seeing that
AI is taking over.
People in Hollywood and people in all the sectors of our lives and places in our lives where we go to get entertained and we throw our money at those people. It's completely been, the tables have turned now because all the essential workers like restaurant workers and city sanitation people and freaking dock workers and truck drivers and people working at Walmart and cart pushers and fucking all those people, they are the fucking essential workers. They are the Americans. They are the fucking, whereas we're gonna see the like celebrities and fucking influencers and hedge fund managers and bankers and fucking social media influencers and all these people, like, they're not worth a fucking dime when the shit really hits the fan and when things get real. And when things get real, you start to realize that, yeah, it's not gonna be like, the more and more that I got older, the more and more that I played games, it was like, man, the world is gonna be like a game. It just keeps getting better and better and everything upgrades and gets exponentially more glossier and slicker and more upgraded and everything is just
there's change.
Improved.
Everything's a change.
It's kind of funny how whenever games started to die on me, then the real world started to be like, hey, we're about to kick you right in the fucking balls. Because it was like from 2014 onward was like it was like my becoming disenchanted with this whole thing, with this whole game that we're playing, both literally and metaphysically.
Metaphysically. Never heard that word. But I mean, we're all fucked. I just wish... I don't know, I don't know, man. Before I die, I just want to do psychedelics one more time. Maybe that's
you spend enough
bad.
time down there, man. It's like being in the deep parts of the ocean. It'll always constantly tell you, like, the school of fish swim by, and you're looking at them, and they're looking at you, and they're like, what's this guy still doing here? I don't know, dude. He's weird. You're just like, tell me something, please. I just need an answer. And it's like you're just drowning. You're just fathoms down in the dark, bioluminescent layers of water, and coral, and fish, and you think that you're going to find anything that you're going to bring back to the surface people, to the people that dwell in the real world. You think you're going to find fucking anything that is going to make you like, this is going to be my Nobel Prize moment, this is going to be my rosebud. It's like, no, it's not this. You're going to lose your mind, and the longer that you do these things, it's going to make it that much harder for you to come back and operate in the real world, which you're fucking here. And you got it's going to come up right in your face like, hey, where's the money? Where's the rent money? You didn't get it? Get the fuck out. Get out. Get your shit and get out. It's fucking, welcome to our team. This is, KFC. We're going to take you to initiation today. Shit will get real in this fucking world. You will be confronted with the reality of, like, there is the divine aspect of our reality, and then there's the physical aspect of our reality. There's rest stops in public parks in fucking Central Park right now that have grimy shit and mold growing on them. There are organisms eating each other in the deep oceans. There are people being killed right now in proxy wars and shadow wars and wars that have been going on for 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking years. Sometimes there's not even anybody being killed anymore, and it's more an information war and the kind of Cold War, or cold culture war that we fight today as far as what was going on with the left and the right, not but a few months ago. Now that this whole virus thing is taken over and it's somewhat more like the space race, people are joining back together to be like, well, what really matters is the human race. So it's kind of interesting in that respect, but I don't expect anything to change, truly. I've been around long enough now. I've been around for 25 years where it's like nothing changes except in the favor of the pendulum just keeps swinging in the direction that they want it to swing. And everybody's just going to go right back after, even if it takes till the next year, even if this thing takes another 3 months or whatever happens, we're just going to go right back to being the same stupid ostriches. Same people that we're just going to go back to being the happy folk.
Yeah.
And the happy folk were blind.
A cycle. A very long
But again,
cycle.
It's like this conversation fucking goes nowhere. It's like a conversation killer. It's like, yes, so it's on and on and on through the ages, and they have owned this game since totality, and what's the use of you trying, knave? You're such a small, insignificant, little nothing.
Yeah.
It fades off into eternity, and you're like, I get it, I suck. They've been fucking smacking me and my family and your family and every other fucking Pole out there in the face generationally with their dicks since probably the board got unfolded.
Yeah. And they do
So
that
it's
to
like,
everyone.
what can you do other than fuck them, ignore them, try to improve your own life, because no matter what, that's all you're ever going to have. In the words of George Carlin, never going to get any better, so you may as well appreciate what you got.
Man, all my problems, I swear, come from porn, man.
Yeah, it is a major problem today. I am definitely, trust me, man, I've been addicted to these shit since I was 15. I am still trying to get off it. And it's
I've
just
been
like a drug.
addicted
Porn
since,
does
like,
exactly
13.
Porn does exactly what the fuck heroin does to your brain on like heroin and shit. It basically just turns it into just a mush of like misfiring, and you can repair it just by stopping. Again, you can't repair the damage from heroin and all that, but it is identical to what heroin does. If you want to see what porn does to your brain, watch some videos by the Red Elephants. Vince James is a big Republican guy. major Trump proponent a few years back, and not so much anymore because he's one of the more of the smarter ones. But he's got a lot of great videos on how fucked up porn is. And that's why they want porn to be free, man. That's why they want you to be able to just be like, I'm bored, I have no one in my life, instead of killing myself, which I probably will 30 years from now, or some fucking cliche that every idiot in this generation is going to do because men are off the goddamn rails and no one even realizes it. They're just over here like, don't get extra lives, bro, DLC, fuck you, I hate my fucking life! And it's like, no one even realizes that, like, it's like,
Like, I can't even do
anything,
anything,
he's having fun,
man.
dude, don't touch him, he's having fun. Let him have his fun.
Like, how many people... it almost feels like it's just rubbing in my face that I can't do anything.
Yeah, no one can. That's how everybody feels, man. Welcome to the suck. Welcome to the rest of your life once you realize that you can't do anything. You are outnumbered by the people with no inner monologue. You are outnumbered by the NPCs. You are outnumbered by the people that are going to be the violent, impulsive shock troops that come for you to silence you when you disagree with the narrative, or to silence you when it's like, you don't want to fuck a trans person, or to silence you when it's like, your kid is white, or to silence you when it's like, your wife isn't black, or to come and silence you when it's like, you're not wearing a mask, we think you could be sick, we're gonna fucking lock you in your house at gunpoint, sir. For your own safety, of course. Folks, it's alright, we had to kill the Johnsons, you know, they were infected, these sick sons of bitches, they're kids, we could have killed their kids. They've been taken into the hands of the state, so, you know. That's how it's gonna happen, man. You will be outnumbered, you will be... That is the things that... Those are the people that collapsed Rapture. Those are the people that collapsed freaking Rome in real life. Those are the people that collapsed fucking Atlantis, if it ever was a thing. Those are like everything where they constantly get... They refer to them as the useful idiots, and they use them to get things over the line, and basically make it where, like, we're gonna have tons of chaos, we're going to have dissent amongst brothers and clansmen and noblemen and tribesmen, and we're gonna have just old fucking, like, the fucking Hatfords and McCoys, like some fucking old fucking Grapes of Wrath type War of the Roses feuds that will never die, because they always know that if they can keep us separated and always fighting, and again, the people that don't have an inner monologue, they're not fighting for anything other than, and they're not really anything other than, like, and again, it's not to say that people that don't are better, because that gets into the world where, and I mean, maybe they are, maybe people need to stop living in their fucking feelings, because that's how we got to the world that we're in, where it's like, we're going off the cliff, Western civilization is gonna be just a distant memory and a dream of like, man, you remember that expansion? Man, that was awesome. This sucks now. The game sucks now. I'm about to stop playing this game. It's like when you keep playing a game just because you remember that it used to kick ass. And you're like, I fucking hate this game. I don't have fun with this game anymore at all. But I can't leave it behind.
But
then
for
I have
me,
to truly
it's
admit
like,
that it died.
for me, it's like, though, like, I feel like I've never had fun playing this game.
I have just started to have some fun playing this game in the last 5 years. But what you got to know about you as a young man and about the years you're going into and even the years I'm living now, if you want to have fun, you are not going to, for the time being in your life, like, you're going to have to buckle down, and these are going to be the worst years of your life. A lot of people like to tell you that from, like, your teens to your 20s is like the best years of your life. It's like, no, for the majority of men, it isn't. Men come into this world grasping for meaning, and we eventually find it by the time we are almost about to die. Women, it's on the opposite. They come into this world being bestowed the gifts and the privilege and the principles of everything that they get from just having an orifice in between their legs that everybody wants. Whereas men have to fucking become something for people to give a fuck about.
Yeah. I don't know, it's like I just don't... My whole life, no one... I don't know. Sometimes I just wish I was born as a fucking girl just because I feel like life would be simpler.
Oh yeah, man, life would be simpler. As a girl, you can do whatever, like, you can, like, women that want to say that it's not easier, it's like, you can get free shit, free meals, free cash, free sex, like, any fucking thing that you want that a man cannot get because you are just not, and they want to keep continuously saying that we're equal now. Men and women have been stripped bare of all of our patriarchal.
No guy is gonna help out another guy.
Yeah, men don't have an in-group preference where like women do. Men are like, man, fuck him. I hope he fucking dies, psychopath.
And no girl's gonna help out a guy.
Oh, that's funny. That's what happens with men. It's like, and with women, it's like, oh wow, maybe you should have chose better. He beat you so bad he killed the kid inside you. Oh, maybe you should have chose better. He was a drug addict. If you fucking say that, people, what did you just say to milady? And you're gonna get your ass fucking beat by a bunch of white knights.
Yeah, by a bunch of simps.
But again, people that want to constantly say we're equal, it's like, no, we're not. Because this whole last week, they were mulling over, should women be drafted? Should we put women in the draft? And feminists weren't having any of it. They weren't hearing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that once we do that, where it's like, splendid. We've deployed every single man and woman, all of our sperm and our wombs are over on the front line. They just got wiped out. It's like, what the fuck are we doing as a society at that point when it's like, we're blowing our wombs up, man, look at that shit. Whoa! Fucking great infantry. Fucking hoorah.
Oh, man.
Just start putting tits on the planes. Fucking ISIS.
Oh, man.
It's like, no, people don't even, it's going to be like that because, and then the more and more the women get in, they have to lower the standards because it can't be, it can't be prejudice, it can't be discriminatory against what women can do biologically and what men can do, so they have to drop a lot of the standards. So when women get in, it's like, you didn't have to actually pass the physical requirements that a man did. So you're probably not going to be able to save your buddy when a fucking firefight breaks out. Maybe you are. I don't know. It's for bigger people than me to decide, and a lot of times those people end up being dumber.
Yeah.
But again, this whole conversation goes back to, are they dumb? Are they criminal masterminds? If it's a global crime syndicate that kills anybody that gets in their fucking way, then you should just keep to yourself and your quiet little life and try to improve it for you and the people that matter to you and what matters to you. And if they are just a bunch of bumbling fools ruling over a bunch of idiots that are controlled by fear and porn and escapism and bread and circus and all that cliched fucking buzzwords that you could throw at us, what else can you do? You're in the game. You're in the fucking game. So whether or not you're going to choose to ignore every notice, like, I'm more and more getting my toes dipped into the game as the years go on. Like, I never thought I'd have a bank account. I never fucking goddamn thought I'd work for Walmart. I never thought I'd do any of the things that I do now.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of this virus, man, everybody's gonna work for Walmart. They're hiring people right now. All you gotta do is show up and they will hire you sight unseen.
Damn. Does that fuck over people like you?
No, it's just because so many people are out of work right now, and so many people are not working right now because you're not getting penalized for absences. So people are just calling in and not showing up and stuff. So now we gotta like call in we gotta get a lot of new hires.
Oh well. Do you get a bigger bonus though?
Yeah, I imagine. Probably at some point. Wouldn't surprise me if not, because that is how Walmart does things. I mean, even if at the end of all this, and they've been the ones open the whole time, and they become like a cyberpunk level corporation, like Globodyne or some shit, it's like, they probably still, or by and large, or some from Wally, it's like they probably still wouldn't pay their workers a level. They'd probably just be investing in robots at that point. So I don't know.
To replace?
But yeah, man, I'm telling you, if you don't think that anything is exciting, if you don't think that, I mean, not even so much exciting, it's just that I was like you for the longest time, man. I was like you for half a decade, and now it's been half a decade since that half a decade, and things change a lot. Whether or not you are ready for it, things will change, and the world is going to not be as boring as you think it is right now, for good or bad.
Yeah.
You just gotta get some stakes in life, man. That is what I didn't have for a while. Find something heavy and carry it. Bear a load, to quote Jordan Peterson.
You
Really
mean
went off the
like
rails.
risk
Talking
your
about some
life
stuff.
to shut that inner conscious up?
Risk your life, get a job, fucking take responsibility for something, fucking just give yourself some stakes.
Yeah.
Play the game. Think about if you were really playing a game right now, if you were in some sort of virtual reality quantum computer that is linked to your synapses and your neural receptors and your touch receptors and your taste buds and your pain fucking sensors, everything, every fucking thing right now. You are inside of a quantum computer and you are playing a game and you were literally talking to me, another person in this game, playing the game with you, and we are playing a mini game that we talk to each other through in that game because this is such a, like, think about the level of graphical detail that we're really inside of right now if this is a game. If this was a fucking game, and I saw game objects sitting like this, like if they can do stuff like this in the next generation with ray tracing, and they could do things where objects sit next to each other and they don't clip, like a bunch of wires lay on a table and they sit there and they have buoyancy and bounce to them. A bunch of clothes can lay on a chair and be folded over one another, but they're not like clipped into one husk or mass. The most like the thing I noticed about in gaming the most is that no matter how good games look, and especially when they start to look really good, you notice it more. Is that clipping cannot be done away with, as far as I know, because I
Yeah.
play a lot of games and I've never seen a game that doesn't clip.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Mike, I don't know. I'm getting
But is that
tired of.
is that what we're doing when we do a psychedelic trip? Is it a no clip? Is DMT no clip?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I just. It's getting to a point where just nothing matters to me anymore. It's like,
You are becoming the perfect textbook dystopian nihilistic denizen of a collapsing society, just like in a cyberpunk, where all you'll have eventually is sex and degeneracy and porn and escapism and movies and pop culture and video games. No God, because why would we fucking need that? That's just a silly thing that we postmoderns did away with. We educated progressives did away with. Yeah, we'll see how well that gets everybody along. You'll
I
eventually become what they
know.
want
It's
you to become,
just.
man. And that's what they want. They want from all of us. They want us to be nihilists. They want us to turn away from God and family. They want us to turn away from community. They want us all to be cordoned off in our little boxes with our little lights and our little screens, living our little bubble echo
It's.
chamber lives.
It's hard for me though, cause like, as far as community is turned away from me.
There is no community anymore. That social media is the community, and if you're not on that shit, you realize that like it's like the invasion of the fucking body snatchers. Like even before this virus shit, it was like going around town or being around anybody. You're like, oh, there's a woman I see every day at my work, and I know her through osmosis, and I think she's attractive, and maybe I'd want to try to court her in another life. But to her, I'm just some creepy, probably potential toxically masculine rapist if she's on social media. She's got a whole box of dicks
Which turns
and
you
a
from
thousand
community.
guys vying for her attention. She doesn't need to talk to you. You're just some fucking schmuck. Whereas before it would used to be that she would be part of your tribe. She would be one of your suitors. She would be someone that you would probably try to get with at some point. But now you're just fucking people that just pass each other by and you see each other every day. And I will never say one goddamn word to that woman.
Yeah, that's pretty much there's no.
People are like, well, why don't you talk to her, sir? It's like you want to get accused of being creepy or rapey or like, get away from me, ew. Yet they're gonna go hit up a guy that's gonna blow them out the back tonight on Tinder or some social media thing or whatever because it's the hookup generation and it's like whatever fuck your feelings, man. It's like, good luck with that. Good luck with your moral fallout of a time when it once was. I mean, yes, there's also a lot to be said that this is because it was such a puritanical, authoritarian, like, Quaker and very Christian, like, upbringing, like, back through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So, yes, the pendulum is going to swing hard left in the other direction, very much so. That was Woodstock and the Summer of Love and psychedelic drugs and all that shit coming in. Free love, man. Make love, not war, man. And all those motherfuckers are the people that took up in academia and the hijacked halls of higher learning nowadays, and they're the ones that are like, hey, fuck you, racist. Hey, fuck you, Nazi. You want to have white children, do you, buddy? Fuck you.
Yeah, no, it's very much like...
They got to have their summer of love. They got to have orgies in a fucking field with a bunch of flower children that probably went on to become that fucking schmuck's used up wife that resents him because she wasted her best years and her youth, and it's somehow his fucking fault.
Well, I know, because I come from someone that basically did that. She did meth and had me. I was on
Yeah, it's
meth.
like, for this shit to be corrected, a lot of people are going to have to hit the fucking wall and die in a dystopia because they're not going to realize it otherwise. They need to be slapped on the wrist and realize that no, women never needed to be given rights. If you wanted rights, you better be willing to fight and fucking die for them like men did. And you aren't, so we're done with that conversation. We should have been done with that conversation. But we weren't, because guys wanted to fuck you, and they always want to, and that's why blue pills will always run over the world and just be like, ah, fuck it, man, I'm overdosing on this shit, because...
Well, whenever you talk about women getting rights, it's like they're like, we fought, and I don't even think that I don't think any girl has ever died for...
A lot of women have died. A lot of men have killed. A lot of women have killed. A lot of men.
I
People
mean
are
for
sick
human
fucks,
rights,
when people
though.
try to talk about, like, yes, there are magnificent women. There are the Madame Curies of the world, and Susan B. Anthony's, and fucking Rosa Parks, and all this. But these women that try to act like that they're all like that, and that they want to take the one thing that they that they do better than men, and that's make more of us, make more human beings, continue on the human race to wherever it's going, wherever it thinks it's meandering towards. And they want to get rid of that and just, like, what's left after that? You're just shitty males. You're just males that some guys still like to put up with to fuck. And a lot of guys are like, I'd rather just make money and then die. I'd rather just go skydiving. I'd rather just go deep sea diving. I'd rather just invest in a sex doll. I'd rather just buy a bunch of fucking Rick and Morty figurines. I'd rather just buy a fucking PS4. I'd rather just... Like, there's nothing anymore to... Marriage, fatherhood, and the American dream is the stuff of yesteryear. It's a bygone era, and they succeeded in destroying it. And men have now turned away, because a lot of men are down with this dystopia. They don't realize yet how much that, like, you are the blueprint. You are the fucking mold. Like, they're gonna print you by the... They're gonna print sheets of you motherfuckers. Because you think it's a good thing. You think it's great that you can fuck any girl any night you want. You think it's great that you get the ultimate reward for nothing. You think that's going to turn you into a man. You think it's not going to turn you into a neat, little hopeless, weak, effete, fucking meek, just limp-wristed. Like, you are going to be devoured when the pendulum swings right again. That world is not going to take kindly to males like you.
Yeah.
And the pendulum is swinging right. This virus thing, like, if anything, if things do change, we're going back to the 1950s. Fucking immigrants aren't going to be coming in here. People are going to be afraid of viruses. Beyond that, it won't be anything of racism. It'll be like, maybe we should stop thinking about the whole rest of the goddamn world and start focusing on everything collapsing around us.
Yeah.
And maybe one day we can handle the anti-white Marxist, but that's a pipe dream, baby.
So, then what's next?
Because what's going to happen with this is it's a pipe dream, buddy. Here's a pipe to your fucking skull. Like, we're going to get killed for talking about this shit. Because the people with no inner monologues are going to be the people to kill people like us that are like, look, dude, I don't give a fuck what you think. If it's anti-black, anti-Hispanic, anti-Muslim, anti-gay, anti-woman, it's anti-man, and it's fucking anti-white. The biggest narratives in this country right now is the cultural Marxist takeover of every institution to make the white man the motherfucking source of every one of you pathetic parasites' problems. Every one of you that can't play this game, that can't hold the goddamn controller right, it's not someone else's problem because you suck. It's not someone else's problem because your parents sucked and they didn't give you a fighting chance because I'm sorry if you were raised by people with no inner monologue and you were raised by NPCs, you're not going to be very much different from the main code. Sometimes, but in a lot of ways, no. And you can't really blame people like that. But just because you can't blame people like that doesn't mean you still don't gotta fucking deal with them.
Yeah, you gotta deal with all kinds of people. You gotta deal with all kinds of people.
And the more and more that these people go out there, and they're living their NPC life, and they're living their no inner monologue life, and they're like, sex feels good. I'm going to fuck things. I just had a kid. I'm going to leave him. He's gonna be a fucking criminal on the fucking taxpayer and a charge on the system, but nobody cares because they're out there having fun and getting pleasure, and the game is going on, and they are pressing the buttons, getting input.
Yeah.
Everybody's just doing things for input. A lot of people are just doing things because the game, like, inner monologue, people lacking in inner monologue may as well be the fucking protagonist of a GTA game, and like you're sitting next to someone and it's like a fucking notice pops up, like when they tell you stuff you could do in GTA, you know?
Yeah.
And it tells them like, you can rape people in this game. But why would you do that? Before they even entertain the why would I do that, it's like they rape people, or they murder people, or they follow an ideology, or they go join a cult and kill themselves, or they kill their husband and their baby, or they kill their baby, their wife, and their husband, or they fucking kill themselves, or they, like, it doesn't take much to get these people to just do it. To just fucking go with the narrative, fucking be a Nazi, be a commissary, be a fucking Kaiser, be a fucking czar, be whatever you want, and then we're gonna go and kill those motherfuckers that oppressed you.
Yeah, it's very much.
But please, please, don't eat your children, because I know we just destroyed the means of production and winter's coming, but we can't have that.
I don't know, man.
Nobody thinks these things through. People just think it's all because the world is a big meanie and something is unfair about the world. You think I didn't think the world was unfair when I wasted fucking the majority of my youth thinking I was going to be some famous little shit from the fucking Southwest flyovers? For fucking what? I don't know. I was just going to be famous, bro. I was going to have a milieu. I was going to have friends around me. I was going to show up at my high school, be like just light years ahead of all you fucking football coaches and you washed up sluts and all you motherfuckers that never made anything of yourselves, man. But I was also going to be humble about it, man. I was going to be so down to earth. Like, I'm walking above it all, and it doesn't even affect me, but I'm so humble, bro. It's like, what the fuck did I think was going to be my life, except what my life is now? And that's what a lot of you need to ask yourselves. If what you're doing now is what you've been doing for the last half-decade, the last decade, your entire life, damn near, what do you fucking think you're going to be doing in the next 5 years? The next 10? The next 20? Vipassana. Look at it right now, and what it is right now is what the fuck it is.
I don't know, man. Right now I feel more lost than I have in a long time, man. It's like I'm just at the edge. I don't know, man. I feel on the edge, you know. Like I just done with this shit. But it's like I don't know, man. It's like maybe one day it gets better, maybe one day, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe
Probably
we
not.
do live a dystopian.
It probably won't, and things are just going to get worse, and things are just going to slide further and further into a fucking demographically changed Marxist shithole, where you are the root of everyone's problems if you do well for yourself because you're not a fucking parasite.
Yeah.
And no one will care until they fucking boot in the military or until the NPCs come for them because it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
Why should they care?
Why would anyone care?
And no one does. And that's what you have to realize, is that no one cares, so you have to care. You have to be the one to make your life better. You have to be the one to take initiative. You have to be a fucking man. There's no more rites of passage anymore. There's no more things in this world There's nothing in this world when it'll tell you, like, the tutorial ended a long time ago, you should probably start playing the game because you're getting behind.
Yeah, no, that's something I never really understood for a long time, man. It was very much like I felt like everything just I don't know. I feel like I haven't. Now I'm trying to learn shit every day, but I feel like no one wants to teach anyone anything.
Yeah, no one does because they've all made their money. It's a fuck you got mine. Like everybody that is famous now, everybody that has podcasts now, everybody that got on the second internet wave, the Go generation, the YouTube stars, the YouTube Reds, the Patreon people, the people that were on YouTube when you could actually make money on YouTube. I was trying to be on here right now and try to do anything and talk from the heart is just that I'm going to fucking say whatever I want because I'm going to die and I don't have the will or the patience to try to censor myself, and I flow better when I'm just being me. But we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get the algorithms, the SPLC, the ADL, the fucking mainstream narrative, NPCs, people, the buzzword racism, everything will shut you the fuck down and shut you the fuck up. Because they don't want people like you talking anymore. They don't want anybody talking anymore because they made their money and they're going to make sure that no one else can come in and do it now. They agree with the terms of service. They're on YouTube Red. They're still sponsored. They're still monetized. And they couldn't give a fuck about the rest of yous.
Yeah, and it's very much like...
We are literally like the chumps and the fucking yuppies that went out to California in the 60s after the gold rush was over. Like everybody already made their money, everybody already had their businesses and their properties and what California was becoming established. And then here come these idiots like, I hear there's gold in them there hills. Yeah, dude, you can good luck with that.
Yeah, it's very much like...
Let's go, Ben! It's like we were basically just like, fucking, they look at people like you, like, yeah, you have a podcast? Cool, dude, so does everybody else. So does a bunch of fucking, so do grandmas, so do fucking every Twitch thought that doesn't have a thought in her head to fucking even think about. Penny for your thoughts, here is a cent, ma'am. Now suck my dick.
Yeah, it's very much like... Everyone sold out.
Everybody's got a motherfucking podcast. So really, what do we think, if we're being honest, we're going to bring to anything?
Yeah, which is kind of funny, too, to think about, because, like, before when we first made this podcast, no one, well, there was people doing podcasts, but, like, in the last few days, everybody has a goddamn podcast.
Not even in the last few days, man. In the last decade. Podcasts have been around since 2007. I was listening to Talk Radar, best podcast ever made, hands down. Don't care what anybody fucking says. Out of JRE, Laser Time, Cheap Popcast, fucking Rage Select, fucking like every podcast I listened to over the years. Fucking Duncan Trussell's family, Happy Family Hour, fucking Death Squad, Real Ass Podcast, fucking Legion of Skanks. Black Tapes, Tennis, every fucking one of them. None of them could ever top Talk Radar. And you can't go home. I'll never go back and listen to that, but nobody would ever top Talk Radar. Best podcast ever fucking made.
Really?
Yeah. It was just an old video game podcast I used to listen to when I was in high school. They were guys from San Francisco, and it's just fucking, it was just amazing. It was best podcast ever. Like, you cannot, like, there's no going
Why
home.
could
like,
you never go back to it?
Because I was a different person then, different times. They were probably different people. I probably would not like those people at all now because they were probably a bunch of lefty game developers living in San Francisco. Fucking, as this was before I was political at all. It's just the world was what you liked. Artists were apart from all that. They weren't a bunch of fucking commies. When you realize that artists are commies, they have to be commies because if you don't toe the line is not going to tow your project to the fucking stage where you want to present it to the masses. And if you're going to get it up the hill, they're going to be like, oh, what? You think trans kids shouldn't have the... Oh, well, Death Stranding's not coming out.
Yeah,
you don't want to make the game about Trump, Kojima? Well, maybe Death Stranding. Maybe Norman Reedus will just do a season 8 of Walking Dead instead of your stupid game. I still don't doubt that Kojima had a lot to do with how much of a hissy fit that fucking game was, but it's still a lot of that in
Because you
this
have to be
day and age with where the
compliant,
narrative is
and
going.
you have
Yeah.
to be
If you want to have a
compliant.
game like Death Stranding, you want Norman Reedus in your fucking game, you want Conan O'Brien, you want a $500 million budget, probably more than that, fucking Monster sponsorship, like actual Monster energy drinks in the game, actual sports gear, fucking, like, the game is a product placement juggernaut, like, as far as when it comes to shit like that. And I guarantee
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to make something like that unless you're going to be like, yeah, Donald Trump's a Nazi, and, fuck white men.
Yeah.
When that's the main narrative, and like, yeah, trans are the future, and blacks are the morally wise, and replace yourselves, motherfuckers, you fucking deserve it, you colonizing pieces of shit. When you fucking look to that in the mainstream narrative, it's like, yeah, why, like, you could not get money to really bring your art to, like, look like what it looks like in your head unless you lay in bed with these people. Because they own everything. They own the mainstream media, they own Hollywood, they own the news, they own the motherfucking social media, they own the academia, the literati. Everything that gets people an idea or a book or a movie or a video game or something that's like, whoa, this is nifty, into your hands, into your head, it's all from the left. It's all from that sphere. It's all from liberals,
Because
pretty
the
much the
left is
majority of it. There ain't
art.
a fucking bit of right-wing, fundamentalist, fucking, like, they make sure that nothing gets promoted or conveyed that is not a message for a liberal cult. And
Yeah.
that's what I used to think, is that that's because they're artists. That's because that's where the art comes from. It's like, no, now since Donald Trump got elected and they all just lost their minds, like, what? What? Like, with every fucking thing that they've been making since 2016, it's like, I get it. You're a bunch of hacks. You think that people like me are fucking idiots, when really it's like, wow, Kojima, you're a weak, pathetic faggot. Like, I'm sorry I ever thought you were anything more. Like, I hope you fucking, like, whatever happens to you, like, good luck with your life. You're
Yeah.
pathetic. Because I used to think people like that were so clever, we're so above it all, we're so just, we're artists. We're fucking artists. And artists look towards humanity and mankind to be something more. They look towards the good in mankind. But no, in the past fucking 5 years, it's been just a war on art, a war on men and women, a war on, like, our whole society is dying. Everything that made this place great is going by the wayside. And people refuse to see it because they're too fucking stupid, or they're too complacent, or they just don't care. Because they're having fun. It's like you trying to flip over the Monopoly board because you don't have all the Monopoly money, and you're like, dude, can I just flip over the board, please? Dude, get your fucking hands off. Get your fucking hands off the board.
Yeah. It's very much like that.
I'm telling you guys, we just flip the board. It'd be a lot more. Shut up, dude. You suck at the game. We all know you suck. Shut up. If you
Yeah.
don't play, I can't steal your pieces, bro. Fuck. It's like when they get mad at you for trying to quit a rigged game. It's like, oh, you rage quitting, pussy. It's like, you guys are modding this entire lobby. I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
And they are modding this shit. It's like you get into this game and you're like, who owns this shit? Oh, it's some player called Day. Fucking dude kicks ass. He's killed everybody that's ever messed with him. KD ratio is like fucking 0 to 1.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I'm gonna fuck that guy up.
I'm gonna go try and kill them.
How do I get into a lobby with Day? You don't. You want to come play with us, dude? Because you don't get into a lobby with Day. If they want to come find you and kill you, they will. You don't get into their lobbies. You just don't.
It's like, it's funny. It's almost like they're in hiding. Unless you're
They
one
don't
of
have
the
to be.
very lucky few.
Everybody is. And the consequences of the people that will forever believe what they tell them are the people that will kill you, or the people that will keep this world running. They don't even have to be here. They could be in a breakaway society that they left from in 1935, whenever technology started increasing at an exponential rate, and they would have had a space program and VR and fucking all the shit that we have now, but even better, and they would have had it ages ago.
Yeah, a lot of
And if
people
that's the
talk
case, which
about
some people believe,
like
fuck it.
well, I believe that those companies, because that have this technology and that like there are things like that have been invented that were invented a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
You
we've
know?
been far more advanced than this. I think we've been like Tesla alien levels of a civilization, but we always probably either wipe ourselves out, or I think it's more apt that this thing resets itself. But if they knew that there was a cataclysm that happened every like 7,000 years or so, but they didn't want to let you know that, because if the whole board was going to get wiped and you knew that, you wouldn't have as much stakes in this world as possible. People wouldn't waste their lives working for corporations. People wouldn't go to a job they hate. People wouldn't put so much into the GDP because we just have to consume forever to fill the void inside that no
But
one is
what
ever going
does
to
it
fill
do for
until they
them?
themselves are filled in a grave.
Because if that does nothing for them, then what is?
No, that does a lot for them. That keeps the GDP is God to them. The GDP is all they fucking care about. It doesn't even matter what's happening to us. It doesn't even
And the
matter if what
GDP
you're
is
buying is
what?
killing you. It is the gross this it's basically like the main pot in the middle of the table for all these guys, like the main pot of America's economy where all the money goes and all flow through.
I'm gonna
Don't
look.
take my word on it, but that's how I understand it. And they care about the GDP. Gross distributed product, I think is what it stands for, or gross. Uh, Basically, like the big pot of money in the poker table. It's like in the middle.
Yeah.
And all they care about is supporting the GDP, a healthy GDP. Consume, you fucking nodes. We don't care if what you're consuming is giving you diabetes and killing your whole fucking family. Just buy it.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I was talking to a family member and I was telling them about Coke and how I was like, because you know, like how it's Mexican Coke uses a different type of sugar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's like, and I was talking to him, and he's like, I was telling him about it, and he's like, sugar. Like that was his only response. And I was just thinking in my head, I was like, do you have a inner monologue? Do you have like why like that matters? You realize that you're eating very shitty stuff. Like very, you know? It's like why
Everybody
don't
will freak out and start like, we need to kill people if they don't go outside without their mask on. But we will never go after the demon that is sugar.
well there's different types of sugar, right? Like there's I don't know. I wouldn't really say good or bad sugar, but basically yeah, like there's shitty like isn't it the sugar that they use in regular Coca-Cola cans very worse to what they do in the glass bottles that they make in
Pretty sure
Mexico?
it's the stuff that they designed. It's like refined sugar. That's the stuff that all the sugar companies, like,
Yeah,
if you
it's
want
like
to say,
not
like,
even it's not
they
even
were the one
real.
that lobbied and lobbied with the government to basically make it all where it's like you just need to worry about if it's low fat. You don't got to worry about sugar at all. That's why they made like billions.
Yeah, no, it's very much sugars. Luckily, I'm not addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to a lot of things. Like I'm very addicted to porn. Like I've a very bad addiction to porn, man. I really need to stop. I'm trying to. I fucking really am. But like,
I guarantee you
porn.
the majority of this generation is a bunch of porn addicted degenerates. Women always talk
Yeah,
about guys slinging flaccid, lame dick because they watch too much porn. It's like, yeah, it's like this whole generation of, and then you have men just becoming like when men themselves are amoral, hedonistic, just parasitic degenerates. I don't know why they don't think that women won't follow them off the goddamn cliff, and then society will just come right after, like the whole tablecloth getting pulled off when the dog pulls the fabric.
It's very much. I'm done.
Because men aren't men anymore, so women aren't fucking gonna be women anymore. Women are gonna be what the main alpha men, what the prime sexual market value men want, and that seems to be just a fat ass thought that they can call on at a whim and fuck and do whatever they want to, and then leave her for some chump in his fucking 30s to be like, I'll marry you, honey. I'll jump through every hoop. Those guys didn't have to do shit. They got to blow you out on the first fucking date when you were fucking 19. I have to pay for it? I don't think so, bitch. I'm gonna go take my chances dying skydiving.
Damn. It's true though.
And if I don't die there, then I'm gonna go do other fun shit. I'm gonna go fucking deep sea diving. I'm gonna go fucking spelunking. I'm gonna go try and like
live your life.
There's so much other shit to this life than to try to have a woman's validation when women aren't even, again, women anymore. Most of them are just shitty males. Most of them are just like, they don't even act like women anymore. They're not charming. They're fucking mentally ill. They have so much just neuroses and idiosyncrasies that it's just like, you're just a fucking mess.
But like when you try and call them out, they act like women. It's like you what, you want to disrespect me because I'm a girl? Like I remember I called a girl fat. I called a girl fat, and she's like, you don't call a girl fat. And yet she wants, I don't know, it's just like, I don't care. You fat bitch.
There's always a sense of decorum because there is such a thing there is freedom of speech, but there's never freedom from consequences of speech.
Yeah.
You can call her a fat bitch. She can still probably punch you in the mouth, or some guys around her that want to fuck her, no matter how fat she is, will probably kick the shit out of you. Because there's always going to be that whole dynamic of the men that walk away from a raid game, the men that are like, I'll play for whatever sort I can. And it's like, just debasing yourself for what? Like, it's not even the ultimate prize anymore when every fucking parasite, every guy that's going to be sitting around like, why do I get money from the government? That's like fucking these bitches on Tinder. It's like, because you're part of the problem, man. Like, fucking either get a job or go join the military and do what guys like you do best. Joining the military is the male equivalent of giving up and running away to become a stripper.
Hmm? So how do...
I can't, because I can't hear out of one ear. But I would if I could, because it is the motherfucking welfare for motherfuckers. Like, people that are always like, you join the military. It's like, yeah, bitches become strippers. So there's always outs for everybody. There's always outs for the low IQ. Well, there's not even outs for the low IQ. You can't even join the military if your IQ is under like 80. We can't teach you anything. You can't retain any instructional provided.
Yeah, but wait, so how is it like the equivalent of becoming a male stripper?
Because all you do is join the military. Your life is hit the skids. You aren't talented. You have no skills. You have no career. You have fucking nothing. So you just go become a hired hitman for Uncle Sam, or you become a desk jockey, or you go join the Navy or whatever, and you get all the benefits, all the social services, all the tax benefits, every fucking thing you can imagine. Most people that I talked to throughout my whole life, they aren't even patriotic. They don't give a fuck. They just join the military because it's where the motherfucking welfare dollars are.
Yeah.
Like what I did over the past half decade, most guys that just joined the military, they picked fucking easy street. I didn't. I worked for fucking psychopathic food employers in Pizza Hut and Taco Bell for 5 years. I've saved my money. I dealt with shit jobs that were the jobs I could get, and I fucking took them. I didn't just go join the military. Not that I ever wanted to, but I couldn't even if I wanted to, because I can't hear out of one ear, so they fucking will not let you.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, what I did was a lot fucking harder than just, I'll join the military. They'll give me money, send me to an exotic place, give me college money, give me all this shit. No, I'll go work for a fucking restaurant for half a decade. Save my fucking money any way I can.
Yeah.
Anytime people try to be like, you joined his library, you joined the military, you joined the military, this guy joined the military, you joined the... It's like, oh yeah, you don't say, yeah, she flashed her tits. Did exactly what you do. Didn't take much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't care for military shit. That shit just bores me. War bores me to death. Like, I think I had a conversation with someone. It's like, I don't know. I'd rather care for what was going on with times back then where monarchies were being built and falling down, because I feel like it's just more important to me because it matters more for civilization and life. Because war will never change. It'll never die. There'll always be one side that will win because they have more power.
I've always wanted to make a loop of Ron Perlman's monologue from the beginning of Fallout 3 where he's like, whoa.
I
War never changes. And then I wanted to have Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4 like, war has changed. And then I want them both to like say it to each other like, war never war has war.
So
Like they're fucking like arguing with each other.
like, I mean, warfare changes, but like it'll go from nuke, but that's still war. War doesn't change.
War has changed in the sense that it's no longer about capturing resources for a finite country that needs them to survive, or it's no longer about capturing the fronts of an enemy territory to advance one's conquest, or it's no longer about saving a faction or another country that you believe is being oppressed or enslaved, or it's for a noble cause, or we went to war against the Nazis and the commies in World War II. Nowadays, war is more proxy wars, shadow wars, information wars.
Yeah.
Culture wars. We are in a culture war right now. This is the most calmed, this is the coldest that the culture war has been since probably 2016 with this whole virus pandemic. Because man, we were rolling right into probably having a Civil War 2.0 if shit kept up the way that it was throughout 2020. But now, people are going more back to the human race matters, and we need to get serious about this shit. People are fucking getting smacked in the face with reality. They can't have these champagne socialist politics whenever their fucking grandparents are in danger of dying and they're getting no toilet paper now and they have no job and they're like, well, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, now you ain't worried about bringing every immigrant in here, giving them your fucking money for their health care. Guarantee you're not. The majority of them that even thought this stuff, it's like they're getting woken up to what reality really is now.
Yeah.
Still, I won't be surprised if we go back to exactly how it was when this all ends, whenever this ends.
I mean, what if it doesn't end?
In the sense that America has changed forever, you can be sure of that. I'm sure the virus will go away, but yeah, none of this stuff's ever going away. Like, guarantee you a lot of the social distancing stuff will probably just stay here. We'll probably be practicing social distancing in New Year's 2022. We're going to lose probably our right to assembly. We'll see if local governments keep pushing it with the things they're trying to tread on. No step on snack.
Every neck will be stepped on, though. At one point, I mean, there are people that say that it won't stay the same. But I don't know.
Oh, nothing will stay the same. The only constant is change, but...
Well, no, like, they're
change
gonna
the way
revert
people
it
will.
back once the coronavirus is over. There are people that say that.
Those people think the government is their friend, the government cares about them and their loved ones. They'll learn.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is.
The government is not your friend. The government is a mass, out-of-control entity that should have never been given as much, the federal government, as much power as it has. All we needed the government for in the beginning was the roads and the mail. And look where we are now. Because people get scared, and they're like, protect me, government. It's like it's not their job to protect you, dumbass.
Yeah, it's true.
If people want freedom, they need to understand that freedom comes with dying. Freedom comes with like, oh shit, epidemic just swept over mankind and killed us all, and I actually died. And Uncle Sam couldn't save me from that, no matter how hard he pointed his finger at me.
That's true, though. I mean, I don't... That is right, because you can't be free without death.
But that's why America will go away, because the demographics will change. They're gonna get a whole new group of voters in here to just vote with whatever the fuck they want and move it along to a more socialist, authoritarian, Marxist regime. And it'll all just subtly happen probably over the next 80 years of my life, at least. And the next probably 50, 60, 70, 80 years of yours, then. And you're going to be real, because you're younger than me, you're going to be seriously feeling the brunt of it.
Yeah.
In this country.
Because
as demographic shifts, as everything changes, as more and more people as white people become a minority, as more and more Muslims become the majority, Hispanics become the majority, blacks become the majority, everything will change. It will no longer, Americans are no longer Americans. Nobody's willing to fight for freedom. People want to have their fucking freedoms, but they don't want to bleed and die for them.
And then eventually people are gonna want freedoms, but then it's gonna be like... Then they're gonna be like, I wanna die for him now. Wanna die. I don't know. It's interesting.
Only thing that's interesting is that nobody cares. The world is more interesting than they'll ever know. It's more fucked up than they'll ever know. And no one is ever going to care.
That's what I hate. Like the whole reason why I don't like, I think I had a conversation today with someone, and like I don't care about shit like rape and like even murder. Like it just doesn't, like cause I just, things are way more fucked up than that. I don't know. That's like nothing. In the grand scheme of things, that is nothing. That is experience that someone has lived.
They are things that are a no-brainer. It's like, if you do that, we need to hang you, we need to get you the fuck out of this society. We hung all of that out of our society. That's why we had one of the greatest civilizations ever crafted. And now, what we have, because people are too busy of like, well, it needs to be equal. We need to think about equity, equality. We need to think about if people are oppressed. We need to understand that it could hurt people's feelings. It's like, no, people need to be stopped whenever they are fucking destroying themselves, because a lot of the times, the reason why the government does things to people is because they fucking make them. Because they start running around like chickens with their head cut off, and then they're like, alright, we gotta shut down the beaches, we gotta shut down the parks, we gotta shut down, these people are losing their fucking minds. We have to shut down the supply chain because people won't stop buying fucking toilet paper.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's very much like, that's the other thing.
People act like a bunch of NPCs when people act like a fucking...
People are gonna get
when they open up a chicken coop, like in a place where they like harvest chickens,
like
it's at a farm, and the chickens just come running out of the sloot.
Like, yes, there are sick fucks, but a lot of times it's just people. It's just
like
people looking for something.
Yeah, and they're just like, well, fuck, we gotta herd these fucking things. Because they are going to hurt themselves. Oh shit, they're looking up into the rain and drowning, god damn it.
See, that's the thing, like, people just are like, they are fucked up and they should die, but it's like, you are the problem. You are the ones making these people fucked up and want to kill themselves and die.
Well, they will tell white people all day that you need to stop breeding, you need to stop having so many children, you need to think about other people, you need to understand that your people were racist, imperialist, colonizing bastards, and if you have white children, you're forwarding white supremacy, and you need to really think about having sex and a mixed child, or you need to really... They will never fucking drop any of this identity politics, white guilt bullshit on fucking Muslims and Hispanics and fucking where they have kids of like they have like 12 children households. They are fucking like rabbits. They are outbreeding us every day, every year. We are below replacement rates. Our birth rates are through the floor. I mean, if anything, we might be having a baby boom now with all the people that are quarantined. All they're gonna have time to do is fuck.
But yet,
But I don't really think it's going to matter.
most
You still
times it's
can't
like
outcompete
that
these people.
no white girl lives with their fucking boyfriend or whatever. They're not gonna fuck.
But
And
it doesn't matter anymore. The society is going to go where it's going to go, and people, when they realize what they gave up, they're going to really regret it.
it's gonna be fucked
I'm
too,
not
cause
trying to
it's gonna
save
be
or warn anyone anymore. I'm protecting me and mine, because that's what Americans do. That's what a fucking man does. You can't
the
throw your
sad
pearls
thing
to
too
pigs.
is
You
that
can't
like
stand around.
that all this shit is just gonna create more evil people because people are just gonna be so fucking fed up with this shit. They're just gonna say fuck it. They're just gonna rape everybody. They're gonna kill everybody, and then you're gonna look at them like you're bad, like they're bad when you're the fucking reason why they. I don't know. Like you are the reason why people push them, and you're gonna fucking feel self-righteous because you didn't do it, because you've had a perfect life, because you have had, or maybe you did get. It's such a fine line of just everybody just needs to shut the fuck up. I don't even care anymore. I'm so
And that
fed
is
up
why
with
we
this
will never have
shit.
a utopia. So you got to start working and making everything better, because you are going to have to deal with the parasites and the nihilism and the people that don't care from now until your dying day, or until you're a miserable old man and the world is like, hey, fuck you, old man, give me your money, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, and it's all these old people are like, huh? Whatever fuck happened.
The young eat the old.
Like, I wish I could just live in simpler times sometimes, but it's like, even then, like, it wouldn't even matter.
The grass is always greener. There's no simpler times. There is no
Yeah, it's like,
honor game than the one
it's,
you're playing now.
yeah, and it's like, even back then, like, some people are like, yo, it was so much fucking better back then. I don't even agree with that at this point, because it's like, was it really? Is it really that much better? Was everything worth it? Was everything so spick and span? Was everything so fucking...
Yeah. What they stole from us. What
Like that
people
whole
have destroyed.
era is the reason why we're here, so think about it that way,
No.
too.
No, the whole reason why we're here is they. The whole reason why we're here is the Frankfurt School. The whole reason why we're here is Anton McVeigh, Edward Bernays, fucking... The whole reason why we're here is motherfuckers like Freud, like fucking freedom torches and suffragettes and everything that they were always there, that they were always there, subverting our society. And it would never happen for them. They would never subvert their society. And no one will ever throw it at them to tell them that, why is it like it for you and not for us? Why is it like that? A racist. I'm just asking questions as they're like taking you away, like putting a black bag over your head, and then they take you out back and you just hear.
Yeah, you'll never
But really,
have,
what they took from us, the society that was before, the America that was before. If you motherfuckers think it is not a tragedy of what we lost, you have no idea how much of how much of your little bitch you are, how much of a chump you are to them. And it's because you either don't care, or moreover, that you
or
have no
some people
skin in the game yet.
people still believe that America is like free speech. The free speech is
Oh, yeah.
gone.
You'll learn. You'll learn.
Free speech is very much gone. Like, yes, there's free speech in a sense of you can say whatever you want, but
There's free speech if you're black. There's free speech if you're Muslim, if you're Hispanic, if you're a blue verified checkmark on Twitter. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can threaten to murder and rape high school kids. You can fucking say that you should murder a straight white man on your way to work today. You can talk about Trump's family like we're going to put out hits on him and rape that bitch Melania right in front of that little fucking Baron. You do whatever the hell you want because you can't be racist to white people. And you're not going to know how pissed off white people are until many ages from now. But you'll know one day. The people that have families, the people that really do have skin in the game, they really understand what was taken from them, they are ready
People
to
that
react.
understand history, people that nobody even
People that understand that this country wasn't a bunch of xenophobic, fucking racist, evil, patriarchal Nazis.
Because I feel like what a lot of people
systematically built from the ground up by one of the greatest civilizations that ever created, and no good deed goes unpunished, the road to hell and all that. None of them will ever acknowledge that what they lost is greater than what they will ever have again. But a bunch of fucking colonizing racists built that, man. We're better than them. Yeah, you see how better you are when you're going back you're reverted back to your natural human state of war, poverty, and death.
They built it for you. They're probably looking at you like any of them. If death is really a spiritual thing, and it's very much like they see and know what you're doing, it's like...
If you want to get historically accurate, they didn't build it for you. They didn't build it for anyone except Europeans. It was a European country built by and for Europeans in the beginning. It has changed now in a lot of ways for good and bad. More bad than good, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the good as well. But it has changed. But make no mistake, in the beginning, America was designed by Europeans for Europeans.
Yeah.
And just saying that historical fact of that, God forbid that they would have immigrated anybody that wasn't from a northern or a Swedish or a, like, Europe, anywhere from Europe or France or Germany or anywhere like that, the places that we were immigrating from before the Hart-Celler Act, before 1965, when we turned over our immigration policies from more marginalized parts of the world for more less white parts of the world, because somehow we thought we were being racist, and that was the beginning of the end. I mean, when we gave women rights, it was really the beginning of the end, but there is a lot of origins to this apocalypse. And with that, nobody cares. No one's ever gonna care. Get a good fucking job, because you're playing this game and you're gonna be run over by the other players if you don't.
It's like when you look at that leaderboard, you just see the top player and it's such a fucking high number, and it's like, holy shit, how did he get there?
And you are never gonna teabag that guy. You're never even gonna... Your bullets are never even gonna whiz past that guy. You're never even gonna ping off of that guy's server. So why would you waste a breath?
And on that, thank you guys. It's been Genuine Podcast. And thank you. Play the game.